Deep within the quiet grasslands and shaded forests, a small insect hides a secret so shocking it borders on science fiction. Barely an inch long, the bombardier beetle looks ordinary at first glance. But when danger strikes, this unassuming creature transforms into a living chemical cannon, capable of firing boiling hot spray straight into the face of its enemies. Imagine carrying a built-in flamethrower, fueled by a cocktail of explosive chemistry that reaches nearly 100 degrees Celsius. This is not a comic book superpower. It's real, it's natural, and it has kept the bombardier beetle alive for millions of years. But how does this tiny insect survive the very blast it unleashes? How did evolution sculpt such a precise, deadly mechanism? And what can this strange beetle teach us, not just about nature, but about ourselves? Before we dive into the mechanics of its fiery defense, let's start simple. What exactly is a bombardier beetle? Where does it live, and why has its reputation spread so far beyond its tiny body? Overview and biological context. At first glance, the bombardier beetle doesn't look like a creature that could stop a predator in its tracks. Belonging to the ground beetle family, these insects are usually small, shiny, and dark-colored, often brown or black, sometimes with metallic reflections. They measure barely 1 centimeter long, which makes them easy to overlook until they fire. Bombardier beetles are found across many parts of the world: North America, Europe, Asia, and Africa. They prefer habitats close to soil, under rocks, or among fallen leaves where predators like frogs, birds, and spiders lurk. They're nocturnal wanderers, living on the forest floor, blending in perfectly with the environment. For such a tiny insect, the world is full of threats, and survival means being clever, not just strong. What truly sets this beetle apart is its defense. When cornered, it doesn't bite, sting, or fly away. Instead, it unleashes a blast of boiling hot spray, an explosive burst of chemistry that makes predators instantly regret their choice of meal. This strange and powerful survival mechanism has made the bombardier beetle one of the most famous insects in the world, studied by scientists and marveled at by nature enthusiasts alike. But what's really happening inside this beetle? How can a creature so small generate explosions hot enough to burn and survive its own weapon? The answer lies in a perfect marriage of chemistry and anatomy. Mechanism of defense. Inside the bombardier beetle lies a miniature chemical laboratory. 2 separate glands store different chemicals: hydroquinones and hydrogen peroxide. By themselves, these substances are harmless. But when the beetle mixes them in a special reaction chamber lined with catalytic enzymes, the results are explosive. Literally, the reaction is no ordinary fizz. It's an exothermic explosion, generating temperatures close to 100 degrees Celsius, hot enough to boil water. Pressure builds rapidly inside the chamber, and the beetle releases it in rapid-fire pulses through a tiny swiveling nozzle at the tip of its abdomen. Think of it as nature's own flamethrower, scaled down to fit inside a beetle. The precision is astonishing. Tiny valves regulate the exact timing and volume of chemicals released, preventing the chamber from overheating or exploding inside the beetle itself. The nozzle isn't fixed. It can swivel almost 360 degrees, allowing the beetle to aim its boiling spray at predators approaching from any angle. This is chemistry turned into engineering, sculpted not by humans, but by millions of years of evolution. But just how powerful is this chemical cannon? How hot, how dangerous, and how effective is it against the enemies that dare to attack? Performance and effects. When the bombardier beetle fires, the results are nothing short of shocking. The spray doesn't just come out hot. It comes out scalding, reaching temperatures near 100 degrees. The rapid exothermic reaction transforms liquid into vapor, creating bursts powerful enough to be heard as tiny pops. For a predator, that's not just a surprise, It's a painful wake-up call. The chemical cocktail, quinones mixed with vaporized peroxide, creates an irritant that burns on contact. To predators like frogs, lizards, or birds, it can sting the skin, irritate the eyes, and even inflame the respiratory tract. It doesn't usually kill larger predators, but it doesn't need to. Pain, shock, and surprise are more than enough to buy the beetle a quick escape, and the beetle can keep firing. Its chemical reserves allow for around 20 full discharges, often delivered in rapid pulses rather than a single blast. Each pulse is like a controlled explosion, forcing predators to back off again and again. Smaller attackers may be overwhelmed completely, while bigger animals quickly learn that this little beetle is more trouble than it's worth. But this incredible defense raises bigger questions. How could evolution design such precision? And what does this beetle's fiery weapon tell us about survival itself? Evolutionary and philosophical questions. The bombardier beetle's defense seems almost too perfect, as if engineered in a laboratory rather than sculpted by nature. And that's exactly why it has sparked so many debates, not just among scientists, but also among philosophers and thinkers. How could such a complex system evolve step by step without destroying the beetle itself along the way? The criticism is easy to see. If the chemicals mixed too early, the beetle would explode. If the valves malfunctioned, the weapon wouldn't fire. If the nozzle couldn't aim, predators would still win. Yet, evolutionary biology offers a fascinating answer. Small, incremental changes. A primitive beetle with mild irritants might have survived a little longer than one without. Over countless generations, tiny improvements, more heat, better valves, sharper aim, stacked up until we arrived at the modern chemical canon. And beyond the biology lies the philosophy. This beetle is a living reminder that survival isn't about brute strength. It's about innovation, adaptability, and persistence. Its weapon is both a marvel of chemistry and a metaphor for life itself. Even the smallest creatures can hold extraordinary power when pushed to the edge. But the mystery deepens when we look closer. How does the beetle keep from burning itself with its own weapon? The answers reveal a story of precision engineering hidden within nature's smallest details. Extended examples and thought experiments. Now comes the real puzzle. How does the bombardier beetle survive its own fiery attack? After all, it's shooting boiling chemicals from inside its body. The secret lies in thermal protection. The reaction chamber is tiny and designed to vent quickly, so it never stays hot for long. Fresh reactants cool the system between pulses, and the enzyme-coated walls are arranged so precisely that they don't burn or break down. Timing is everything. The beetle's valves must open at exactly the right moment. Too much flow, and the reaction could spiral out of control. Too little, and the spray is weak. Over millions of years, natural selection fine-tuned this valve system into a masterpiece of precision. Think of it like controlling the throttle of an engine. Tiny adjustments make the difference between a safe burst and a dangerous blowout. And then there's the aim. The beetle's nozzle isn't stuck in one direction. It can swivel, allowing nearly 360-degree targeting. Combined with quick body turns, this flexibility means predators can be hit no matter where they strike from. But all this power comes at a cost. Producing chemicals, fueling glands, maintaining enzymes, these processes demand energy. In dangerous environments, the trade-off is worth it. But in safer ones, such costly defenses might fade away. So we've seen how chemistry, timing, and engineering converge inside this tiny insect. But beyond the science, what does the story of the bombardier beetle really tell us about life, survival, and even ourselves? Conclusion. The bombardier beetle is more than a quirky insect with a chemical trick. It's a symbol of survival through innovation. It shows us that even the smallest creatures can thrive when they adapt with precision and creativity. The beetle doesn't overpower its enemies. It outsmarts them, using science hidden in its own body as a shield. And in a way, isn't that what life asks of all of us? To face challenges not with brute force, but with cleverness, timing, and the courage to use what we already carry inside. The bombardier beetle reminds us that power isn't about size. It's about resilience and ingenuity. So, what did the bombardier beetle teach you about life? Do you see survival as strength or as creativity under pressure? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. And if you enjoyed this journey into the secrets of nature, make sure to hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and join us as we uncover more hidden wonders of the animal world.